greetings, denizens, one and all. I just kind of felt like running through the character generator a little bit more with everyone, partly because I'm a little bit burned out from crunching the past few weeks with the coder on this, and some heavy in-depth stuff on the reactor core level, and radiation mechanics, combat engine, third F10 system, and enemy AI, but not generative AI. We are staunchly anti prompt imagery here at Studio Le Bleu, a label which I have, I guess you could say, recently associated myself with. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Alright, let's roll through a roll. Now, someone mentioned, and smartly so, under the last video that, you know, it would be handy having a list to pick from instead of going through these by rote, one after the other. Now, as with everything on this UI system I've been working on for quite a few years now, I have thought about just about every option possible. The only reason well, there's actually twofold reasons. It's not like that, but the main one being I like the immediacy of rolling through the body types. Now the classes, that one upon testing is, well, you know, we are going to speed up some of these under the hood number rollings, but yeah, this is the only one I could maybe agree with. For now, we are going to leave it though, because time is of the essence, and yeah, I really kind of tossed and turned. I really put it either side, tried it both ways, and I just kind of like it this way. So yeah. Oh, they also mentioned swapping the labels over. I did try that graphically. I think there's a reason why just generally all my buttons are laid off to the side, or the right-hand side. I mean, I'm a righty myself. You know, I think I was left-handed in early school, but that was beaten out of me with corporal punishment post haste. So right-handed here by choice or by birth. We're not sure. But yeah, I generally like to keep my controls on the right and then viewable stuff on the left, and you'll see that of course bear out in the main event window for the most part, although that also of course really relies on, or I guess calls to the golden spiral for its composition. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. I'm getting off track here massively. Yeah, so there's still a few things where we're looking into and working on. Yeah, well, I'm just going to throw some skills up here for now. I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this video, to be honest. I just kind of felt like hanging out. I'm going to sip my coffee. Wow, that's really cold. Ugh. I might skip that actually. So, yeah, these are some of the new portraits. I actually had a few runs at the Cyborg type, cybernetic type. Now, I think they came out a bit too much like Nosferatu mixed with the Borg originally, as not really what I was going for. I don't know, now it's kind of like Pris from Blade Runner, and like Drow, and the War Boys from Mad Max. I don't know, I just kind of, you know, let the muse take me here with the Cyborg portrait features. I like them, and that's really my own yardstick at the end of the day as to what goes into my games. So yeah. Yeah, we're going to get a lot more variation in these. I would like to try a lot of different, especially the more wild features. You know, just variations on noses are great to build unique portraits, but I don't know, I just kind of want to get a bit wild with it. You're probably going to see that more with the robots. Let's hop over to robot now, actually. I really need some coffee. I'm just like, had the worst sleep last night. If you own cats or live near cats, I pity you. Yeah, they've decided to have some kind of like whisper of the heart type deal at 1 a.m. and old Maudski just pretty much napping on the couch for a few hours in between work shifts with a lot of meowing going on in the background. Anyway, so this is our robot, which you can think of more of as a bio-robot. Well, I think I've mentioned this before, but if our cyborg is an augmented human body, you can think of the robots or bio-robots more as like RoboCop or even Nuke Kane from RoboCop 2, where essentially there's human body parts in there. There's a meat bag, but it's just covered in robotics and armor. Essentially, maybe a brain inside a jar with an exosuit around it. Now, technically, that's a cyborg, but there is so many reasons. Okay, well, I might as well explain. Might as well go into it. I mean, from the beginning, it's been about balancing the body types. Like, I think body types are balanced in D&D, falling back from Tolkien's, original Middle Earth races and stuff. But, essentially, well, we have healing items, and I wanted them to work across body types, but of course I want a lot of variation in body types, so we can't just have straight robots. It's got to have some flesh inside there, basically. So I thought the best of both worlds was having the robot or bio-robot body type, and essentially a suitcase of meat. So, things like stimulants, vitaminoids, nutrient gels, and even bandages are going to stop those fluids leaking out and work much like they do on a cyborg or a fully organic being. So I actually kind of enjoy exploring that. Working within the boxes we set ourselves as creators, I think, is the most interesting part of this. You basically shoot for something that you can achieve, and then kind of finding interesting ways to play out the variation within that is where the nuance and subtlety and all the juicy little details and ideas can start to seep in and stuff. So that's long story short of why you see what and it doesn't really read that well in this sprite, but that's a brain. The top variation of this is just an exposed brain in a jar. Now, I'd love to have a whole portrait that's just a brain in a jar with eyes painted on it, for instance, and, exosuit down below, of course. I have to work within what we've set up for our face generator, but, even with a few features, the moment the coder and I had this working, I'm like, this is one of the best things I think we've ever created, but, I've created, designed as an artist and game dev. Actually being able to randomly generate my own pixel art is just so much fun for me, and having done adventure games for so long where it's super handcrafted, super bespoke, it's hell testing adventure games while you're developing them for years on end, because every single part of it is the same each time. That's why I have just been looking forward to making an RPG of my own so much, is because just the testing phase and the idea of making something that you want to play that you enjoy yourself is foremost and front in any indie dev's mind, I think. But an RPG is I'm proving myself right, proving my dreams come true here, really, because you can I'll show you, for instance. We'll get a hood going on this guy. It came out a bit Assassin's Creedy because of the blood on the side. I did a bit of blood splatter on a lot of these features just to indicate the bio-robot nature. That's, they're not technically killer robots, but, personally, if I saw a robotic medical droid, let's go over to a medical class here, and you're right about switching. You're right about switching these up. We could speed up these rolls a little bit. Ooh, high strength. Gotta go past you, but I don't much like the idea of a robot medical technician with really high strength and really low luck and dexterity trying to fix my broken arm, or do an appendectomy on me, for instance. It's like you've got a bio-robot medical droid in your party, and you're hurt. It's like, well, how dexterous? What charts? What medical charts does it have uploaded currently? Well, this is where the role-playing, quote-unquote emergent gameplay or sandbox element certainly comes into play for me. Because as soon as we really started working on this, I'm just like, wow, I can create something that's completely unique from the base parts that I put into it, and then kind of start to tell a story out from there using the dynamic features of the engine that we have. So yeah, let's go over combat med. Whoa! Okay. Look, yeah, a robotic combat medical droid. So it's proficient with combat, but as a medic, be part of a squad, or would have been back in an ancient epoch of the Hibernaculum. But I should say middling dexterity isn't really doing it for me. Now the luck kind of makes up for it a little bit, so he's going to slip, but luckily he didn't sever an artery while mending you, or himself for that matter, because as you may or may not know, this is a single person blobber. Oh no, I'm going to start explaining that now. So blobber is a term we use for the old dungeon crawlers, where you would have typically 4 party members and you would walk forward as a blob in a group, in a grid pattern. Now yeah, so Elvira, being a bit different to the blobbers of the time, which were like Eye of the Beholder and there's too many examples to name. I mean, EOB is one of my main influences here. Lancelot, which go-tos, but essentially, what was I saying? Blobber. Yeah, essentially, I've tried to mimic that a little in design, even though it's one character, one avatar or player in the dungeon, which is from really atmospheric and mechanical purposes, but like atmospheric if anything, because Elvira isn't a blobber, you're one player, and that's scarier in a horror game, because if you're with a bunch of people, it's less scary, right? So I kind of, in the design, replicated the blobber in that normally you'd be able to, it's turn-based or simulated turn-based, so you might I'm just going to hit some of these buttons that won't matter here. So you'd hit with someone's sword, and then someone else uses a shield, then he's got time to use his dagger, and then you cast a spell from the back with your 4 characters moving in a blob. Now basically I've replicated that by giving you 2 arms to fight with, which actually calls back to mind Xenomorph the Dungeon Crawler. Well, I could just rabbit hole in this forever, which actually gives you 2 hands to work with as well. But yeah, long story short, I'm kind of simulating where Coda and I should always give props to the Coda, because they're the one that's made this come to life at the end of the day. But yeah, that's what we're simulating, is the blobber style simulated turn-based combat with one avatar character, because it's scarier aesthetically. Now please, let's get back to what you were saying about the portraits. I'm just going to cut out the whole last 5 minutes, I swear. Yeah, so pretend that I didn't go on a complete rant and ramble then, and stumble over my own words several times because I got overly excited, and I just kept clicking these buttons because they're fun. But yeah, pretty soon started realizing as I was rolling through these that the designs were just kind of completely unique. And really, obviously, I haven't, painted it to look like this. It's just the randomized features that create. Well, let's see. You can kind of make him like just a metal grill face, completely a metal grill. Oh, actually, I like the slot there. It's a bit like a medieval key with a hood. And okay, that's rock and roll Martian in my mind. Excuse me for a moment. I'm just gonna sip of water. I've got cotton mouth here. I got no coffee. Alright, that's 1,000 times better. Wow. I sure went on about the blobber then. I was just like, the whole time I'm explaining that, I really wanted to click OK and get into the game so I could explain with the correct buttons, but I couldn't, and then it's just driving me crazy. Anyway, I'll continue. So, as I was saying, a robot combat medical droid with terrible dexterity and great strength is probably not the thing you'd want working on here now. Oh, the bio is the last thing. Shouldn't mention too much about that, but randomization is part of our plan there too. Anyway, I'm going to re-roll some starting items. So, different classes or role types will give you a different loadout of gear and a different amount of starting credits. So, yeah. Mutoid fruit, one of my favorites. Tasty. And now, morphogenic cell pack. Now, a couple of rarer items will appear here and there, now and again, depending on the role you pick. I need to change the graphics on that. I should not say class, I should say role. Because I didn't want to do everything like Dungeons and Dragons. It's inspired by AD&D 2E, but it's not AD&D 2E. We don't use THACO, we have THEDF10, because I thought, what, and if we're going to have all these dice rolls under the hood, why try and calculate to a base 0, you know, well, okay, now I'm down another rabbit hole. So Advanced Dungeons & Dragons 2nd edition uses a rule set to hit the enemy called THACO, which is an acronym for to hit armor class 0, and the players had to calculate a 2-hit roll based on a d20 and an armor class base of 0. So negative numbers are harder to hit, and positive numbers are easier to hit. So if you were a fighter trying to hit an orc with an AC of 8, for instance, that might be just not even chainmail at that level, like padded armor would give you an AC of 8, and it's really easy to hit them. But if they had an AC of 0, which would be plate armor, that's where you start getting into the Bugatti of medieval armor types. Kind of stuff that's quite hard to hit. If you've seen any of these, you know, new videos where they show off beautiful footage of these ancient, lordly, baronly suits of armor being moved around in person, they actually look extremely comfortable to wear, apart from weighing a shit ton. I mean, the smoothness with how these parts are engineered and flow together is really quite amazing, and I find it kind of silly in modern films how they were just like, oh, I'll get mud all over my plate armor. It's like, these guys will be going home, and gals, and people, not just men, would be going home and oiling and cleaning that armor like a son of a bitch. The stuff is worth more than a Ferrari back then, and like, corrosion happens, people. Yeah, so no matter, you know, what your role was in the army, if you had fancy weaponry and army gear, you would be looking after it. And I just think a lot of the lives of these people would be, you know, coming home from the battle and meticulously cleaning and organizing and repairing all of their gear between skirmishes or just on a daily basis. Okay, so I've just, droids. Well, maybe we'll just go with that. So, special skills. Oh, you know what? All of these adjusters are working, so I'm going to choose Pistolier, and we're going to actually try and roll up a pistol in our gear. That rhymes. Okay, oh, there we go. Yeah, it's just a large pistol. Now, there's a small chance we could get, a higher tier level of gear here in the random rolls, which I thought was a great idea because, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a +1 pistol buried amongst this dice roll somewhere, if we're lucky enough. Now, I kind of love this because, for me, I like to start role-playing while I'm building my character. So, in my mind, if we can get it to pop up, it might take quite a while to see some of the higher tier gear appear here. Higher tier gear appear here. Try saying that 10 times fast. Tongue twister. In my mind, it's like, oh, a +1 pistol that's rare to get. Well, I would just, in my mind, it's like, oh, well, that was handed down by my grandfather. That's why I'm the one character that gets that. I would then treasure that +1 pistol, and again, oil it after every skirmish, and disassemble and scrape all the carbonization out, and keep it in good condition. And then probably keep using it far past its efficacy in combat, as we love to do when we have an item that just looks really cool on the character. It's like, +2, +3, but it's not green and doesn't match my armor, until you get further enough, far enough in the game that you've just got to swap over to the worse looking, higher bonus adjuster gear. I'm just getting flashbacks of Morrowind right now. It was the graphics design was always done smartly in early Bethesda games, though. I don't know, like glass armor, and it just looked cooler as it got better, for the most part. And then you can mix and match. Okay, well, I suppose that's one thing we have leaned on Morrowind a little bit, because our paper dolls, let's just say we've been talking about mixing and matching armor types lately. Yeah, I can't promise too much. It's obviously just the craziest time for crunch at the moment. It's kind of unbelievably busy. That's why I wanted to just take time to shoot the breeze with everyone here. Just have some fun rolling these numbers up. Okay, so we haven't seen a +1 pistol. Come on, let's go. Move a lot faster. It's pretty rare, which is good. It should be rare. So we'll just find a large pistol, ammo, and a morphogenic cell pack. Now this is a high tier med item. Now, being a combat medic, we are bestowed with some medical skills from the get-go. These will give us a chance to produce items and create items while we're camped. So bandages is a big one. You know, well, no. Should just make a whole video about how bandages work in this game, but not for now. And we'll choose food pack, and yeah, these are base items and medic specific. These are tech specific over here, but we don't get that because we are a medic type character. I need to do a little bit more work on the graphics of this to delineate it and have it read better, but for now all the numbers work. So without further ado, I think we should launch into the game now. Just a moment. Slosh down some hydration here. I'm going to make the biggest cup of joe when I'm done with this video. I feel like we've been recording for a while though. Oh, I kind of want to re-roll that name though. Yeah, it's working on some of the name randomization. Ooh. H8H8H. Now, I was thinking about IG88 a fair bit when some of these started rolling up. I'm like, wow, that really has an IG88 vibe. And who's to say that IG88 doesn't have some kind of primitive brain inside him? Well, probably the Mandalorian in canon, but I don't know. I kind of gave up pretty recently with Star Wars and Disney. Although I did kind of enjoy The Mandalorian because I watched it with a friend and his kids, and their excitement and unjadedness made me excited and unjaded, which is a mind-blowing concept for us aging male nerds, at least, or male-identifying nerds. You know, oh my god, I hate everything. It was so much better when I was a kid. Yeah, because you're not a kid anymore. I mean, I have my own complaints. It's not like I'm immune from complaining about things. In fact, if you're on my Twitter, for the last 18 months, you've probably seen me do nothing but complain about things. Pretty much, 6 months into production of Hyber. I think the building management has just started doing some industrial vacuuming outside their door. As they would. Either that or a Harrier jump jet is like hovering outside somewhere. Oh, I'm redlining on the mic here. That's not good. Yeah, it must be. Yeah, it's adding some background decibels to the mix. Oh wait, that's my computer making that sound. I'm gonna have to give my my work rig a rest here, people. I've got so much recording software going. Anyway, it's been awesome talking to you all before everything explodes, and we don't want our Hibernaculum main rig to go out. Just pretend I play the game as a robot for 5 minutes. I'll jump back and we'll do that soon. Be seeing you. Peace. Oh, you know what? I could just wipe the dust off the ports. I'm using a mini B-Link PC as my main work rig, and wow, she gets noisy when she's busy. Oh my god. I thought someone was vacuuming with an industrial vacuum cleaner. Yeah, we're not too bad. B-Link is great. I've had some teething problems with their SE5, but their SER7 system is actually fantastic, and most of the work you've seen over the past 18 months of complaining has been done on a B-Link Mini Cube PC. So I'm gonna do a video about them though, because you know it's the brand I use, and it ain't perfect, but it ain't one of the big companies, and I think it's really important not to support big companies right now. In fact, if there's ever been a time in history not to support big companies or big people in general, now's the time. You know, you just have to look out the window where the rain falls down on all of us. Okay. Now where's El Pistolier? Yeah, I was about to cheat and just give myself a bunch of free gear and XP. And I'm like, no, we're not playing it like that. We're not doing the pure testing run. We're just doing a fun run. Oh, okay. Just slammed my headphones back on. It's like, yeah, we don't need any KKVs running up on us right now, swatting them out of the air with a broken pipe wrench. If you've seen me chasing the KKV around like a fool, I just kind of like doing that. It's really advisable to hit him with a pistol. Now I'm just going to put my cell pack up in my belt slot here for easy use if we need to quickly heal ourselves. Although this is one I can just use from the main menu, so you know, shut up, boys, just play the game. Just reload my pistol here. Oh, wow. Yeah, you better stay out of range. Oh, good shot. Ah, nice. Now, well, these graphics shouldn't be here, but these graphics should be here. Yeah, this is something we've been messing with a bit lately. This is all, you know, simulated, you know, my own version of AD&D 2E systems running under the hood with a bit of D20 and a bit of Gamma World spice, a bit more old school spice, a bit of Gygax spice. But yeah, we felt showing off a little bit more of the numbers running would be fun, and that's what you're seeing here is the combined adjusted attack numbers and the pre-combined unadjusted attack base numbers. Now we're gonna be working on these, and that will make more sense in the final version, but you don't really need to look at these. This is the ammo, that's all you need to know, and we'll delineate that better. Oh, I'm in trouble. Run away. It's well, I know how game loop is working. You know, if I slack off and just like la la la, I'll explain things for 5 minutes. I do step into radiation patches, get giant leeches sucking my brain juices out, and you actually do need to pay attention to playing the game when you play the game, unsurprisingly. Okay, I'm just gonna get rid of this one because I want to just like chill out here for a second, guys. Just let me breathe. Let me just take a breath. Take a breath of radiation. I knew that was there. Oh, dang, yeah, there's a problem with the sound effects there. We're actually overhauling some of the sound effects. Just imagine the System Shock 2 sound effect happening when that happens. We had a really good one going there and it stopped working. Radiation dissipated. I could just voice over everything with no sound in the entire game, and I'll just stay like online 24/7. That would be like a totally fine way of making a game. Just I narrate it for every single player all the time. I don't know how I do multiplayers at once. I'm assuming, you know, only one person will be playing Hibernaculum at a time. Hopefully, that's a false assumption. Let's move ahead. Okay, just get my head screwed on straight here. Just get into the game. Spent too much time lollygagging and jaw-wagging, and we're gonna get slaughtered up in here. That's good to see. We don't need to be irradiated right now. So there's a little bit of damage on some of my hitboxes. We're just gonna eat some food to take care of that. Yeah, thank you. And we'll eat the delicious mutoid fruit. Ha ha ha. Tasty. Crunchy. Fresh from the aquaponic farms of Deck 4. Oh. That's it. Nice. Yeah. That's what we want to see. Not too much flailing around. Ah! Yes! And I'm just like, huh, that's... I keep doing this, and I love it so freaking much, people. I'm just gonna, like, you know, wax lyrical for a second, but I love this so freaking much. I keep going into the game and going, huh, we seem to be hitting the worms, enemies a lot with the pistol. And then I'm like, oh my god, that's because we chose the perk for it. That's why we have the Pistolier. We're a Pistolier. That's why we're hitting a bit better with a pistol. And then everything in the world seems alright again when that happens. I'll just pop back here for a sec. Do we take any damage then? No, we're good. Alright, sweet. Yeah, that's tripped out. I keep doing that. I'm like, huh, I don't, like, why can't I hit this enemy? And then I flip over to my hitbox and I'm like, oh, well, my arm's been, you know, eviscerated and crippled beyond repair. And when your right arm gets crippled, hitting things with your right arm gets more difficult. That actually has, again, well, I guess you could call it emergent. I don't like to use the term emergent gameplay, but more sandbox fits. But this is what I was trying to build essentially. Is we realized that during testing, once you get a crippled arm, and it has real life kind of parallels and consequences, I guess. Once your arm gets a bit crippled from combat, you'll find yourself missing more often, as you would with a crippled arm, and more likely to get a critical strike. Because of course, if you're, you know, trying to fire a pistol with a broken finger, it's actually a bit more likely you'll get a critical, you know, shot. Might blow off another finger, because that's what would happen if you were bleeding out of your hand and trying to fire a pistol from it. I've actually seen someone do that in real life, believe it or not, at the firing range in Switzerland. Not a pretty sight. With a 357 Magnum, actually, my father almost blew his own thumb off one time. I have much better firearm safety than he does, but yeah, so you increase the chances of getting a cripple, and now during a firefight in Hibernaculum, that makes total sense. You have them firing wildly with a crippled hand. I could blow my own hand off and really badly cripple my hand, at which point, well, let's just say the adjusters go right down. If you see the bones sticking out, it's going to be harder to swing things with that arm, or even level and fire your sidearm. So this is something, you know, kind of where I'm sort of most proud with the engine, is these effects popping up during sandbox testing that, again, have parallels in, well, at least real kind of common sense of how things would play out. I'm just going to drop a squad here for a moment. Camp. You have been waylaid by enemies. Uh-oh. That is terrible. Oh, wow, we got a crippled head. Okay. Quick, fire. Yeah, we're gonna get our asses kicked if we're not careful. And out of ammo, I'm just gonna run right now. Pick up the MREs. That shouldn't move with us. That box should disappear. Note to Coda. Whew. We are getting great 2 hit rolls with this Pistolier perk, though. Hopefully not OP. Don't take... Everyone's going to grab Pistolier and just, like, be like, it's OP, we're using it, and just running through the game. Yeah, I'm gonna change that now. Staying one step ahead of you. Okay, now, ideally, what do we want to do here? I'm going to eat something. That's a good idea. I can't call Rio or anything. I'm out of ammunition. Alright, I'm gonna call it here, because I'm just gonna get my ass kicked if I wander around and try and talk. I don't know how people are gonna let's play this. It's probably gonna be one of the reaction things where it's like, oh god, there's another one. Oh god, run through here. Oh god, ah! So, yeah, it's been nice, talking with you. It's very quiet here. Yeah, we're in the middle of overhauling some of the sound design, so yeah, that's just my footsteps and my voice. Just use a morphogenic cell pack. Delicious. Well, yeah, I hope you have a great night and day, and our sweet little B-Link has stopped freaking out, and I've stopped freaking out. And yeah, anyway, just, yeah, thanks once again to all our backers, all our supporters, all Hibernians everywhere. Wishlist us on Steam if you haven't had a chance, and please, if you are so inclined, check out TRIPTYCH, which is in early access on Steam right now for you to play. If you'd like to play a game that I've designed and made with Studio LeBlue, the team currently working on Hibernaculum, yeah, check out TRIPTYCH. The link will be below in the description, as well as our Hibernaculum Steam wishlist link. So yeah, completely different genre, but you know, it's from the same brain. So you're gonna get what you're gonna get from a game that Maud's worked on, ain't ya? Sorry, my accents. I do accents sometimes, and they're really bad. You're gonna have to get used to that. Yeah, well, we're gonna change out that sound effect anyway. Yeah. Once again, once and for all, thank you so much for joining me. This has actually been a lot of fun. This has made my day, kind of. I really enjoyed doing this, and just taking a break from the work and showing it off has been awesome. So yeah, have a great day, have a great week. Thank you all so much, and be seeing you. Peace.